So if an aspiring entrepreneur came to you and said, what would be some of your greatest words of wisdom for them, what would that be?
Well, if you're making a product, or you offer a product, even if it's like, a marketing product like you're creating for social media, or you've created a product like a new baby bottle, um, I would say the first thing to ask yourself is, does it exist? Chances are it doesn't, right? That's why you're making it. But if it does, why is yours going to be better? And if it doesn't, why doesn't it exist? Does it not exist because really nobody else wants it? So kind of start doing your research. And for me, I always just asked friends. I asked people I knew. I went to playgroup. I went to Gymboree. I'm like, what do you guys think of this idea? And I just asked people who were in the focus group that I cared about. And I think a lot of it is just that legwork. It's just doing the work yourself. And the other thing I would say is know what you're not good at. So for many of us, that's hard, right? Like we don't want to fail at anything, but I have learned so much from people who are better at stuff than me. So for me, I'm a creative person. I am not at all an organized person. So I would say if you are really not good at something, get help. Don't try to do it if you can't do it, because you will waste money and you will waste time. So probably those are the two things.
So you have accomplished and experienced a lot. What would you like your personal legacy to be?
Oh, God. Gosh. You always say it backwards. It's Baby Einstein. So I would probably, first and foremost, want to have been a great mom. I know that sounds so cheesy, but it's so true. I have great kids. I love my family. I would have wanted to have been the person that people said, she was really nice and she was really genuine. And, I don't have an MBA. I didn't go to Harvard. I'm a teacher. And I think that I'm really proud of that. Like, I'm really proud to be a teacher, both to my parents and to other kids that I've had the opportunity to influence. And now, hopefully, I'm being a good teacher to parents, teaching parents how to be good parents. So I would say that.
Love it. What questions do you all have? Yes.
As a marketer, I'd love to know what effect the Jay Leno piece had on your sales.
So as a marketer, he wonders what the Jay Leno piece had an effect on your sales, an impact.
Honestly, we were already killing it. So it had a huge impact, but the funny thing, it had an impact, but the funny thing is, I didn't even know it was on. Like, I didn't watch The Tonight Show, and so somebody had to, call me. And then ultimately, Ethan's dad contacted me, the kid on there, and he's like, hey, did you see what Ethan said on The Tonight Show? And that was really cool. But I would say that it had an impact, but we were already just doing so well. Probably what had the biggest impact was, let me think about this for a second. I mean, when we went to that trade show in the second year, we went to Toy Fair, and we had a booth at this trade show for the first time. And we were really like something very new. No one had ever done this, classical music for babies thing. That was just strange for people. And so we tended to get a lot of press around that time because it was a new idea. And so probably that boosted us more than the Leno thing, which happened like 4 years in. So, yeah.
So she didn't tell you that Ethan quickly rose to the top salesperson in the company and is still living off his 401k program in Hawaii, right? That's what I thought you said. Yes, Nicole.
You mentioned in the roundtable about Asperger's and what kind of effect you could have with them. And I also was brainstorming even PTSD and things like that. Can you dive into the Asperger's though a little bit? Yeah.
So our question is, what other areas could this be applicable to, whether it be Asperger's, PTSD, et cetera, that maybe you've explored or had an impact with?
It's really interesting because if I knew how to do technology, I would show you some pictures that I got this morning. Yesterday, I met with a family who flew here from Kentucky because they have a son who's 14 who has autism, who is absolutely like focused on Baby Einstein. And they literally came here from Kentucky. From Kentucky. And next week, I've got another 16-year-old. For his 16th birthday, he wants to come to Colorado and meet me. I'm like, I have nothing to say. I don't know. Like, I think he thinks he's going to meet the puppets and stuff. And but anyway, it's interesting. So I think music is such a universal language that it applies to so many different circumstances and ideas. And after we sold Baby Einstein, we actually had another startup that I didn't mention tonight called Memory Lane. And the impetus for Memory Lane was this. I would get these emails from parents who wrote to say, my baby loves Baby Beethoven, watches it all the time. But what's really interesting is that my mom has dementia and loves to watch it too. And we were like, well, that's pretty interesting. So we started thinking, well, it's kind of crummy. Like, you don't want to buy a baby video for your mom. That's sad, right? But we thought, what could we do? What is it about the Baby Einstein videos that somebody with memory loss would like? And to me, it occurred to me that it was beautiful music, and there's not a story to follow. It's just images. It's beautiful images that you like to look at, and we had that babies like to look at. So what Memory Lane was a video that combined images that were important parts of people's life. So we would have videos, like we had a video called Family. And in that family video, we would have snippets of we'd have the song Love and Marriage by Frank Sinatra, and then we'd have a bunch of scenes of people getting married. And then we'd have a bunch of scenes of graduations. We'd play Pomp and Circumstance. And it wasn't their family's graduation, but to be frank and not cruel, they didn't know their family anymore. But there was something in that music that affected them and made them happy. Like there's something in their heart and somewhere in their head. And you can do this with somebody who has a significant amount of memory loss, say it's Alzheimer's. They can remember songs. And so there was like a long-term memory. And so there's this feeling of music connecting us in different ways. So I feel really good about that. And I've heard from a number of people who used the videos and the music in the videos when they had children who were in the hospital. So like babies who have a hernia. And the mom says, it was so hard because he had to be still for, 2 weeks. And the only thing that we could do to keep him still was play Baby Einstein videos. That was really cool.
That's great. What other questions? Any others? Well, let's give, we got one in the back.
Your last point is stay engaged. Sometimes that's really hard. Sometimes it's really hard to stay on track, stay focused, keep energized. Maybe you keep yourself energized, keep yourself motivated, keep going.
So the question is, sometimes it's very hard to stay engaged and focus and keep going. What did you do to help you in that process?
It's been the hardest with this latest startup with WeSchool. For me to stay engaged and focused. And I think it's because I can't do a lot of the work myself. I've had to hire people, and so I'm not as literally engaged, sort of figuratively engaged. So it's been hard. I think that what I do is I travel. Obviously, I've talked a lot about travel, and I am a huge world traveler. I really believe in taking that time to yourself if you can. I'm a big believer in meditation, so I meditate daily, usually twice a day. I think that all of that stuff is critical, not only for us to stay engaged with work, but to stay healthy in our bodies, right? So, I don't have a better answer for you. I'm sorry. I wish I did. I wish I could tell you I exercised every day, but I don't.
Love it. Let's give we have one more. Yeah. So what type of meditation technique do you like to practice?
So I have a mantra. I went to a Deepak Chopra event many years ago, and I was given a mantra. And so I do help me. What's the name of that type of meditation? Do you know? I feel like you must know because you're from India. Everyone from India must know. It's not transcendental. Say that again. Transcendental? Is that just when you just breathe? Yes. And just think about the breath. Okay. Transcendental. I learned something. Yeah.
Let's give Julie a round of applause.
Thank you.